In this session, we explore how peace can extend beyond the deepest inner barriers. Our focus is on deconstructing the mind's attraction to death, psychological, emotional, and spiritual. We will examine how this attraction forms, how it blocks peace, and how a new understanding can gently dissolve it. Peace begins at the center of our relationships. When a relationship is dedicated to healing, it becomes a living temple, a reliable place of rest for those who are weary. In this space, we practice listening, empathy, and forgiveness, allowing peace to radiate outward like ripples from a single source. As inner peace expands, it meets four key obstacles: the desire to reject peace, the belief that the body is our primary value, the attraction of death, and the fear of God or ultimate truth. Recognizing these as learned mental habits, not fixed realities, is the first step in moving beyond them. Our experience is governed by two operating systems. The ego's dictate uses the body for attack and ends in dust and burial. The Holy Spirit's purpose uses the body as a channel for communication and healing, aiming at creation and life. Our daily choices determine which system we allow to run our minds. The third barrier is the attraction of death, a distorted survival strategy. Instead of trusting life, the ego frames death as inevitable and even desirable, promising escape from pain or responsibility. We will question this narrative and show that it is a mental construct, not a biological destiny. To dismantle this illusion, we examine its structure. The motive is to flee a feared, punishing God. The medium is a body seen as nothing more than dust and decay. The illusion is that destruction can substitute for true creation. By exposing each layer, the attraction of death loses its persuasive power. The ego runs on a destructive currency. First, it imagines separation from God, then generates guilt, which demands punishment. Death is presented as the final payment that supposedly settles this debt. Understanding this cycle allows us to step out of it and refuse guilt as a valid form of accounting. Diagnosing the barrier means contrasting ego perception with truth. The ego sees guilt as a debt, time as a countdown, and the end as annihilation. Truth reveals guilt as baseless, time as a doorway into the eternal, and the end as the full extension of peace. This reframe changes how we live now. Here we see death used as a shield. The ego builds a wall of fear to block the light of God, its ultimate terror. The goal is not to end life, but to avoid intimacy with truth. When we recognize this defense, we can consciously lower the shield and allow the light to reach the places we once hid. Unmasking occurs when we see that destruction has no real foundation. Death yields to life because guilt itself is unreal. There is no cosmic battle. There is only light quietly shining away shadows. Our task is to consent to this light, letting it reinterpret our stories of loss and ending. The physics of peace are simple. Peace does not attack obstacles. It surrounds and gently covers them. The ego's structures remain unstirred while peace flows past, completely unhindered. As we practice non-resistance and trust, we experience how calm awareness can move through any situation. Breakthrough happens when we stop fighting the ego on its own terms. Instead of waging war on obstacles, we extend truth quietly. The barrier of death is then seen as only a shadow. Once recognized as insubstantial, it cannot hold us, and the light of life continues its natural expansion. We conclude with a core principle: life is the only reality. Our journey does not stop at any barrier the ego imagines. Peace and life extend endlessly, unhindered, into what is eternal. Holding this perspective reshapes how we approach work, relationships, and every decision we make.